Please hear me. Anything God is telling you to do now, better do it. There are things Christ did for you, but there are other things that you must do for Christ. When you receive and believe what Christ did for you is called faith, but the things you must do for Christ is called faithfulness. There are things that faith brings. There are other things that only faithfulness can bring. If you violate what God is telling you now, you will still be a child of God, but there are certain powers in a generation that you will never touch, no matter the impartation, because you don't qualify for it. There is a place called Kadesh Barnea. That's where princes are tested, whether you can cross into glory, to host the powers for your generation. When that day comes, may you be worthy. May you be worthy. You know what Jesus said about Paul? He said there are many things he must suffer for my name's sake. That means that man too comes with special kinds of sufferings for Christ. So you can quote Paul's scripture and quote new creation reality. It doesn't mean you can be like Paul. If you take off in the midst of crisis, you don't qualify. Paul was traveling with John Mark and Barnabas. They went to Perga, Pamphylia. When the journey became tough, John Mark took off. The next time they were about to travel, Barnabas said, let's go with John Mark. Paul said, no way. He don't qualify for this honor. Where we are going, he can't inherit it. It was the absence of John Mark that brought Timothy into the equation. He can't inherit this thing. This one, it belongs to those who don't just have revelation, but those who will suffer and bear the cross of Christ. It was in post old age that they remembered John Mark, and they said, bring him, he can be a deacon. Anybody who tells you it begins and ends with quoting new creation reality and doesn't tell you new creation responsibility, he robbed you. See, there are many people who are classical teachers, they are scholars, they are doing exegesis, but they cannot awaken your spirit man because they have no journey with God themselves. I teach all of those realities, but I can tell you there's a place where you walk with God, and those parts, they are lonely, they are rugged. God will become your only companion so that you can carry the powers that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has occurred to the hearts of men. You want God to empower you with billions? How many sacrifices can you undergo? The billion will become your God. They say, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper, even as your soul. So you can't have physical prosperity more than soulish prosperity. So there are financial powers, there are governmental powers that God can't give you. If it is God you want to represent, you must pay certain sacrificial prices to prove that you are dead to those things. So Jesus carried cross for you, but he also